Good afternoon. So we have the recording now. So nobody just had it actually. So I want to just sort of credit a few people.
So nobody just had it
Who
actually.
go.
So
Sorry. Yeah, I wanted to just credit a few people actually. So obviously there's Clark who went to the court and got hold of the recording, and TikTok user at Big who wrote the transcript. So awesome job, guys. And to the people on X who tagged me in the so I'm interested now to see what this is going to be like. Oh, hi, Carrie. You ready for a ton of word vomit? Really? Wow. I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm expecting this to be a massive nothing burger, but you know, I'm going to listen to it. I know other people have played it, but you know, I like to do my kind of thoughts and feelings as well. Is Timu Blake? Everyone's turning out to be a Timu Blake. Even Blake is a Timu Blake. Gosh, my voice. I'm glad I don't have to speak too much through this, like someone else is doing the speaking. Okay, let's play this.
Oh, same. I can't wait. I can't wait. Yes. Thank you. Steve.
And I'll let you and Steve chat.
Awesome. Great to see you, Elise.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, she's awesome. What's
yes.
up? She's awesome. Your whole team is just, I just want to say thank you. Like, everyone has been so wonderful to work with. And I'm a big believer when you see people doing great work to be like, you're doing great work. So thanks
it's been a long few weeks, actually.
Oh, I'm sure it's been a long few weeks. Absolutely.
I don't like that.
But, you know, I think people can say what they want to say. And I don't know if you're watching the media at all.
No, I have been. I don't know what's going on. No one's spoken to me about it. So I just know I don't know what happened on that set. But I know the media can turn really really bad and negative. And I just rejoined TikTok for the film, and I was texting Rain. I was like, I rejoined it. It scares me, but I'm doing it. And just seeing how fast stuff blows up there too is really tough. Really tough.
Well, I don't think you're going to have any issues with this film.
No, Steve, when I tell you our cast and just
want to quickly say hi to everyone who's turning up. Hi, Christy. Hi, Curly. Hi, Dee Dee. I didn't want to be rude and like not say hi to everyone until the end. Oh, you're welcome, Christy. It's been a while since, but I knew I was going to do a live. I'm probably going to do one on Halloween as well, just as a heads up. But yeah, I do enjoy doing a live occasionally. All right, back to the recording.
Just the response from people, just from the trailer, like, and this is why I want to give major kudos to Ashmi, who's kicking ass at marketing. I emailed way back. She helped me out so much early on in our relationship with Blue Fox, and she was able to make a graphic for me with our awards, because I was going to be featured in the newspaper to hype our film festivals and everything. And she created that herself, and I legit and was there with all the answers, there to help, there to push. And when I basically emailed, I think it was Jamie, Andrew, and Ryan being please give her either a raise or a promotion or both, because this is someone who, I worked in advertising for a long time, and when you see someone who's good at what they do, oh man, she's been a real dream.
And Clay's easy to work with.
Huh? Oh yeah.
At the theater, so no problems there.
Clay's been great. Absolutely. I'm excited to see the space.
The Ends With Us drama is simply that. It's a drama. I'm done with it.
Yeah,
it's going to happen when it's going to happen. You know, whatever's going to happen, whatever people want to think, they're they're going to think I was worried about it at one point, and now I just now I'm just going to let the chips fall where they may.
Honestly,
if they likes us, great. If they don't, they don't. We are who we are.
I think it's really tough too when it's something you've been really excited about, right? I think that makes it hurt even more when it almost eclipses the work and the message and all of that, and it's really painful to see.
At the time we released, we were not excited about it. We just wanted to get done with it.
Oh, sorry.
You know,
No, I'm sure.
way before all the stuff.
No, I'm sure. I'm sure.
This isn't too tough. Let's get through it. Hopefully it's not too bad. And it's turned out very well. We've made a lot of money.
I was going to say it's been very successful, and I love the No More partnership. I think that's awesome and important. And like, you know, looking at that side of
I'm just going to say I'm glad that someone liked the No More partnership, because Blake sure as hell didn't. That's my first rant.
doing that work and focusing on that and focusing on centering a story of, you know, domestic violence that is so common
Yes, it
for
is.
so many people in the US and around the world. So I was really glad to see it resonate around the world too, because it's very much not an American issue.
No, it's a worldwide issue. So yeah, we did our best to try and keep it centered on that. We didn't succeed, but that's okay. The public said, please center on this.
There you go. I know. It's tough. It's tough with that side of, I've been very grateful to be able to be in the room because it's my production company and because I own the IP. I've been very lucky to be able to have my voice have weight, and since it is even though for me it's a huge movie, and thank you for funding it, like looking at that, right, of having people who
Thank you for funding it. Wow. Oh my god. All right, I'm already exasperated. Yes, I am reading the comments, and yes, she's absolutely, I can hear the goading as well, and yes, she has an ego the size of Blake's about her own work. Okay, I'll persevere though. I'm guessing. I'm surprised. I thought this was a meeting about Justin Baldoni being verbally abusive. I thought that was how it was portrayed in the declaration. Did I miss something? Did it get mentioned on Lauren's stream? Like, I am technically registered deaf, so I'm wondering if I've missed something here.
respect the work that's already been done and are aligned with the impact, right? Of really being like,
yes, I have
instead of like creating a fashion line, what we're going to be doing, I'm so excited.
We're going to be creating a fashion line.
Not for this. What we're going to be doing for the social.
I mean, if you did create a fashion line,
oh no, it will be great. It will be great. But for now, for like social, we're going to be amplifying the work of everyone who's already doing inclusive fashion, accessible fashion, to drive people to their stores, to drive people to their accounts. So like that's what we're going to be doing for the lead up, because I got to meet so many people in this process, Steve, who are the Lenores, right? They are doing this work, especially both in the plus size space, but also the accessible fashion space, including like disabled designers who are creating what they wish they had. So that is what I'm so psyched about, and just continuing to build our community in that way. But yeah, and we're making, I'm running leading merch, so I'll send you merch when it comes out, which I'm so excited about. And yeah, it's really fun. We're working with this great designer, illustrator who did, I don't know if you ever saw it, the illustration of the 5 girls.
I know. I'm aware people kind of, there's timestamps and everything. I haven't heard this, and I think the whole purpose of releasing the whole thing is to hear the context leading up to these statements, because that is just as important, if not more important, than the actual statement itself. So I'm going to listen to the whole thing. I hope everyone's okay with that, because I want to know what happens in the like 10-20 minutes before this statement that they cherry picked is really important for context. So yeah, bear with. I hope that's not boring for everyone. I keep losing the play button
Before the casting call, I basically had no ability to make a composite to show what our cast would look like because this kind of representation had not been seen in films. And so I basically had her draw me an illustration of the 5 characters, and we used that until we had stills from set. Like, it's incredible. So she is creating all these like fun quote graphics, and then we split, it's a 60-40 with Wayfair and PNG on profits. So I'm super psyched. And so we're gonna be creating that. I think we got the okay to use. We're gonna be making the Empire Waste t-shirts from the movie, which I'm so excited about, and getting our designers from that involved, which I'm so psyched. So that is fun. But for now, for this first line, it's really pushing people to see the work that's already being done out there, because a lot of them have their own communities too, and using this as a way to amplify. Ditto other female writer directors, right? There are a lot of people out there that aren't going to have our commercial.
Well, you know, female-centric films will never succeed, so I don't know.
LOL. Oh my God. Barbie baby.
And it ends with us.
And, right? Exactly.
They dissed it. They dissed it.
Oh no, it's always
like liveliness. It ends with us. I was talking to people. I talked to some people, the numbers, like a couple months ago at CinemaCon, and maybe 3 months ago, and they said this is going to do 40 million domestically. You know, women, of course, like, you know, women are not expected to, like, women are like the ones who drive so many things. Of course, a female-centric movie is going to do well. Like, that's crazy.
Honestly, and what drives me bananas, ditto, I mentor a lot of creators, especially writers of color and directors of color. And what drives us bananas is that if you look at the box office, if you look at a lot of the big sales leading up for the first part of the summer, majority of your audiences were Black and Latino, right? Yet the majority of stories we're seeing on screen are not reflecting them and their stories and their experiences. So you have this incredible juggernaut of the economy willing to go to the box office, yet they're not taken seriously or worthy enough to have projects backed to be seen on screen. So it's really undermining the power of different groups, like breaking it down into financials, right? And undermining the power of word of mouth from women, undermining the power of word of mouth of communities of color, right? Of saying, this has our seal of approval. We all have to show up and show out for this person, right? It's incredible. So it's just it's really frustrating. And one of the reasons I held on to the IP was I wanted, with my other projects, to be able to fund, similar to me, like voices that are not seeing themselves, people not seeing themselves represented on screen, just for development, right? Just to be like, set aside time to do these live readings, set aside time to meet your audience where they are and develop it, because you are worthy of doing it. Because that for me, and yeah.
If you look at Hollywood, like the top, so It Ends With Us is now, I think, the 11th highest grossing film. It's going to be 10 pretty soon.
I'm so excited for you.
But
what kind of laugh was that?
Every film in front of it is a rerun.
Yeah, right. The best feedback we've been getting, in addition to people seeing themselves represented on screen, has been, oh my God, it's not a remake or a sequel. And I'm like, and then take it from, like, I'm part of these amazing filmmaker communities, and I'm sure you have them too in Chicago, of just people creating incredible original work who they're not seen as being valuable because it doesn't have an IP, or it doesn't have, hasn't been proven that it works before. So you look at it and it's like the industry can be incredibly uncreative for being a creative industry.
Oh my God, the
and
laugh.
It's one of the reasons why, like, I encourage people to meet your audience first. Like, prove that, because our movie resonated with people from 14 to 84. Across, like, and that was for me, in addition to the creative. And this is why I teach it. I teach the creative, but I also teach the business. I'm like, prove why you are worth an investment, and like be comfortable talking about that.
I think it would go lower than 14. I think.
Oh no, that was just the script. The movie went down to 8. Yeah. Movie went down to 8 and beyond. And like that for us, I don't know if I told you this, our editor, Aziza, she has now her daughter.
Just like literally a minute ago, I just had to replay that in my head a few times. Did she have to say that people have to prove that they are worth an investment? And she's saying that to the man who invested in her. Also, the laugh. She has these crazy psychotic laughs. I might just do a compilation of the laughs alone. It's it's maniacal. It's like, you know, like one of those gimmick evil villains from like Batman or something. That's the vibe she's giving me. Yeah, phony, exactly, Louise. Hi, Annie. Hi, Rainbow Pickle. Hi, Isis Email. Hi, Julianne. I'm trying to say hi to everyone. I'm really painfully aware that I'm not talking through much of this. Well, I do keep stopping it. Sorry. We haven't even got to the good part yet, and I'm already triggered by this woman. I will keep persevering. My ears do feel like they want to bleed.
God, 8, 7. She was 5 years old when we were editing, and we edited on Zoom for most of it. And she would love watching the movie. She still quotes the movie, but there's one part where Kayla goes, "It's me, bitches," during like a photo shoot, and Aziza would jump in front of her and go, "Ah!" so she wouldn't hear the word and start saying it over and over. It's the best. But the best part was when we moved from remote to our edit bay, as Satya drew all these adorable dresses that we covered all our walls in the edit bay, and she would come to visit us, and she was 5, and I had a designer who I met who's an amazing Melissa Mercedes, who I'm going to ask to do some work for us for screenings. Like, she brought her 16-year-old daughter and her 8-year-old son, and it was so cool because Marissa, she's crying from the emotional side of being a mom, being a woman who's plus size. Her daughter turns to me and goes, "I'm going to force everyone I know to see this." Like, it was so earnest. And then her son goes, "I liked when the dad put his hand in peanut butter." Like, it was just so rad, right? Because it hits everybody. It hits everyone.
It's an original movie, which we don't have. Like I said, Ezra, which we made, was an original movie,
which I loved.
We just have to get more people out. So let's see what happens. We'll put it out there. I'm sure we'll have a good run here in Island Park, at least decent.
Oh, I can't wait.
Right. Okay. Hold on. I can see a question. What does Chicago mean? Right. Okay. So there's a few things. So I know people are wondering, is this illegal recording? It depends on where they both were. If Steve Sarowitz, now I'm led to believe that this seems like it's like a video call of some kind. They're talking over video. Steve Sarowitz is based in Illinois, and that is a 2-party consent state. If he happened to be at Wayfarer, they're in California, that is a 2-party consent state. If, as some people have picked up, that they think they heard him say he was in Chicago, yes, that is a 2-party consent state because it's Illinois. So, yeah, I'm inclined to think that this is a 2-party consent state situation, personally.
We'll see. And the bottom line is that the victory is getting it out.
Honestly, right? And the fact that we're going to be in theaters, we're going to be on Friday. Our trailer's going to be in theaters. Which for me and Crystal, I stopped our meeting with Blue Fox, and I was like, "Sorry, I'm just going to scream real quick. That is so cool." And the fact we had 1 million views on Twitter, we had just an incredible response, and all these people, Steve, who inspired me to get into this work, who have incredible followings, are now following and reaching out to me and asking if I'll talk about it. I'm like, your book shaped how your social movement shaped how I see the world. So that in particular, the word of mouth campaign, as well as the paid we're going to be putting behind this. I know we got, I think, 150K promised from P&G, which is going to make a big difference. But for the education curriculum, the conversation we had with Debbie is fantastic, because a lot of what we're doing for Crystal and I are doing.
If he's in Illinois,
word of mouth, spreading everything to people who will really be able to. And then us amplify our network, which is really fun.
Amazing. Well,
It's
we'll do our best to.
No, you're doing great. You're doing great. But I also know, coming off the It Ends With Us stuff, I just want to say I see you, and it is exhausting. It's exhausting. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Jamie was the most exhausted
Oh,
out of
sure.
everybody.
Was he was, I'm sure, the go-between with Sony, right?
He was the go-between. He was the one who was taking the brunt of the hits, because you didn't see the brunt of the hits, like the slam jobs on us.
Oh, I didn't.
No, because nobody saw them.
Right.
Jamie was stopping it. So Jamie was stopping the worst of the worst.
Oof.
There was a point where they were trying to slam the Baha'i Faith. He got that done and out. So, basically...
Who was? Was it Sony or was it public? Yikes. That's icky. That's icky.
Oh, they went after everything we had. Luckily, I was out of it. So,
I'm glad.
nobody had mentioned me. But that's because I'm a nobody. I'm nobody.
We know who you are.
Yeah, but
it's kind of a blessing. Let me tell you, it's kind of a blessing.
I know. Well, that's
Talking over him.
No, there's all these things that, because Blake and Ryan paid for the movie. I'm like, really? Really? Send me a check.
Every time I've seen that, or some of the comments I see, or on the flip, they'll say that Blake sold.
Blake and Ryan paid for the movie. Oh my god. Hold on. Sorry. I accidentally stopped sharing screen there, annoyingly. Bear with me, guys. Sorry. Oh. I'm gonna have to go and get that. Right, okay.
Into in a few weeks.
Oh, it's awesome.
I'm going to move it, don't worry.
We've been getting, in addition to people seeing themselves represented on screen, has been to me and goes, I'm gonna force everyone I know to see this. Like, it's so earnest. And then her son goes, I liked when the dad put his hand in peanut butter. Like,
I've heard that. I was annoyed of it.
So rad, right? People, Steve, who gonna scream reference, but for the education curriculum, the conversation we had with Debbie is
worst of the worst. There was a point where they were trying to slam the Baha'i Faith. He got that done.
Sorry about it, guys.
So, basically...
Who was? Was it Sony or was it public? Yikes. That's icky. That's icky.
Oh, they went after everything we had. Luckily, I was out of it. So,
I'm glad.
Nobody had mentioned me. But that's because I'm a nobody. I'm nobody.
We know who you are.
Yeah, but
it's kind of a blessing. Let me tell you, it's kind of a blessing.
I know. Well, that's right. No, there's all these things that, because Blake and Ryan paid for the movie. I'm like, really? Really? Send me a check.
Every time I've seen that, or some of the comments I see, or on the flip, they'll say that Blake sold her cut back to, and I was like, that's not how it works. You own the footage. Like, that's not how it, and people will say it so confidently. And they'll be like, yeah, because they bankrolled the movie. And I'm like, that's not how that's not how it works.
Right, but we just sit there quietly and let them think what they want. And, ultimately we're not going to, but Blake and Ryan are billionaires. I don't think they are, actually.
No, and even if then, everyone has a stake in everything. It's a lot. And, yeah, I think it was just fanning the flames and people...
Well, now
I
we
saw
know
this
why
great.
we
Okay,
get
so I
so
started
many
following this great TikToker who is a PR expert, and she
about,
specifically talked about.
Now we know why we're getting so many digs from Blake and Ryan in the various filings about him being a billionaire, because he just pushed back on the notion that they are billionaires. Hilarious.
About how August is the worst thing for something to happen because people blow it up because it's very quiet. And so looking at that, she's fascinating, but she basically is a lot of the biggest dramas have happened in August when people are out of office at these publications, and people just kind of run rampant because it's still summer and just blow everything up. But no matter what, it just sucks to, I'm sending out the love. I'm sorry. It's been so exhausting. And I'm hoping this is a positive boost.
I just talked to Jamie. He's going on vacation for 2 weeks, so I'm
Good.
hoping that it's too hard while he's on vacation.
There you go. Good.
So hopefully he needs a 2-week vacation. He's been working around the clock.
Yikes.
He and Justin and their families are going on vacation.
Good. I'm glad. Yeah.
So what can I do when you're in Chicago?
Oh my God, who knows? I mean, I'm just excited to see you. I'm excited to meet the Humanity Rising kids. Seriously, like because this is what Crystal and I love doing, and so do Mia and Mima. But no, I think looking at that, talking to students always makes us really happy. I know I'm going to try to find a photographer to do like a little photo shoot with me, Mima, and Mia, since we're all going to be together all glammed up. So I'll keep you tuned in on that because I'd love for you to be in on that too. But yeah, no, I think for us, we're just excited to reunite. And I think Blue Fox is working with Humanity Rising to get some like press involved and stuff like that. But yeah, but you let me know.
That's good. I think press. No, Blue Fox is going to do the press. Is that correct?
Blue Fox, yes. So they have their PR person who's pushing, and then I connected him with Debbie because oh man, she's on top of it. She sent me like 3 emails the next day, being like, "Here are 8 different things we can do." I'm like, "All right, hell yeah!" So I connected her to all the people to help out. So she's going to connect us to Alicia Gupta, who's at NBC, who's a partner who featured Humanity Rising. And then I also have some folks in Chicago that I'm reaching out to who are writers on the ground and great folks that could potentially amplify our work too, which is the best. But yeah.
We'll work with our community and try to get our community out there. I think we'll probably push our community more on the 30th.
Makes sense. Well, you let me know. Honestly, Steve, this is a collab. So like you let me know if you want me to spread.
I'm also just going to elaborate actually on the consent and illegal recording thing just for a moment while it's fresh in my head. I believe he's in Illinois. That is where he lives, and I think that's where his business is based. And I think he has suggested a few times he's referenced Chicago. So I think he is in Illinois when this has been recorded. If that's the case, Illinois is a 2-party state. That makes this recording illegal. Without his consent, it's illegal, regardless of whether she's in a 2-party state or not. So, is it criminal to both? It is criminal. And not only has she committed an offence by recording in the first place without his knowledge, she has also shared it with Blake, and Blake has shared it with the court. And the act of disseminating the illegal recording is also illegal. So potentially Blake Lively has also committed an offence. Back to the recording.
Spread the word with I wanted to make sure you guys get priority for filling the space, but also if you want me to push our Wellesley community, you got it.
Push it all. I'd rather be turning people away.
You got it.
So look, unless our theater's full every night, you guys, which is not, you guys can push all you want.
Awesome.
We rarely fill the theater.
Yeah.
So
this is what, 198, right? 199.
Oh,
that's exciting.
Worst case scenario, we're turning people away at the door. That's great.
Cool. I know we have we call it the Wellesley Mafia. I went to Wellesley College, and when I tell you they are the mafia, who is like a huge reason why I got the movie made in the first place, because I did that like nationwide script tour, and they were the ones that were like amplifying when I would be in different cities, that were like putting me up, that were calling in favors, that were hosting me for the events and stuff. And so they're all over the country, and we're going to be doing, I don't know if I told you this, we're doing a nationwide or a Wellesley worldwide watch party for opening weekend. We're basically, I just sent it out yesterday to all the different, 80 different alumni clubs around the world. So we sent it out specifically for the US and Canada to do opening weekend, to go together with their organization, do group tickets, and like post about it. And then Wellesley College is going to be posting about it, and they're going to encourage all their students to go opening weekend too, because we should be in Framingham. in Massachusetts. So like it's really exciting, but we have a very active Chicago club. So I will share it with them. Yeah, I'll share it with them.
Invite them all, their families, their friends.
Oh, they'll love it. They'll love it. They'll love it. No, absolutely. So no, we'll team up on that. I always want to make sure. That's what Debbie was saying to you. I was like, I want to make sure we have space for Humanity Rising students, but if you want me to fill that place up, we will fill it up. And Crystal has space too.
Fill it up. Yeah. And we have another showing on the 30th. Awesome. Our people or on the 29th. Awesome. With rain, so they can go to the rain showing. And if they don't want to go to the rain showing, if they can't make that, there's a showing on the 30th.
I love it. I'm so glad he's coming down there for opening night. When I tell you, he really had my back during filming. I can't tell you how.
I'm sorry, the 29th is when, the 27th.
27th. Yeah.
You talk about just
like he really had my back during filming. Because this was my first feature, and he just really, he would always, when he had a thought, he'd go, you don't have to take this. I was like, Rain, I'm going to take your thought. It's going to be great. But he really, I was so grateful to work with him, and just the way he approached the actors, and he still does, of being like, I'm an equal, like, I'm Rain, hello. Like that for me, for all of them, made them feel really seen and safe.
They must have been so starstruck to be working with Rain Wilson.
They were, but he from the first time we talked on the phone, he's like, I don't want them to feel intimidated by me. Like that was, and I relayed that to the team. I was like, Rain wants you to know. And he walked the walk when he got there. He shook everyone's hand, including the extras who had no lines and no names in the movie. And he's like, I'm Rain. It's so nice to meet you. Let's have fun. And when I tell you, because that was the vibe we were really cultivating on this set, of making sure people felt safe. And wow, what a gift. What a gift.
The irony is Justin is just like that. And you hear things in the end, and it ends with us set. So you hear two different sets. It's like, wait a second, which set was it? Was it the set that Brandon Sklenar talked about, where it was amazing?
Yeah.
Or was it the set that Brandon Sklenar talked about?
Honestly, it's so tricky, especially, yeah.
I just realized what her voice reminds me of. Has anyone seen the film White Chicks? Right, I'm sure nearly everyone has seen White Chicks. It's an absolute classic film. Like that scene at the when they're at the reception and they're having a BF. That's what that voice sounds like. Sorry, I had to interject. I just had to get that off my mind before I forgot.
I don't know, because I wasn't there, so I don't know what it was like.
I was.
You were there. Was it bad?
No.
Oh, God.
Justin never has a bad set. Yes, it was the worst set he's ever been on, but no, it wasn't bad. I was there on set. It was, Justin is really kind and loving, and he's Rain. So you imagine Rain's running a set. It's just, it's the Baha'i set. It's never going to be like that. No, it was just, everything was made up. It was manufactured, and it was manufactured on purpose in order to take Justin down.
It sucks. I'm sorry. I'm just sorry, because I know the intentions of making the movie were with such a purpose. I'm sorry to have this going on. I'm hoping
it didn't take Justin down.
No, I'm hoping it's winding down. Fingers crossed.
I think it's going, well, Hollywood's still got a hold of it.
Yeah. That's because it's quiet. Again, August, man. August. I'll send you this video from this TikToker. I love her. I love her. She is just she is a pro. I think she's in her 50s. And she breaks it down to educate people, to also make them better consumers, of being hey, is what you're reading true? Or, what is a source? Who could it be? Breaking it down to everything to make people more informed readers too. Because when I saw everything blowing up, I was just oh, Jesus. It just, and
yes.
I was actually in Chicago for a wedding, for a friend's wedding that weekend. And I was just had rejoined TikTok to share the trailer. And then I was oh my God. What's going on? But yeah,
I've read more of that. I've never was on TikTok before. I've read enough, but
right,
seems like TikTok, Instagram are pretty pro Justin.
Yeah.
There's Reddit is a little bit more even, but Reddit just seems mean spirited.
Reddit can be very weird. I've been on some pages that are for plus size fashion and stuff. It's very supportive, but I think it's also there are different corners of it where people go just to be terrible.
Yeah.
Reddit freaks me out. Reddit freaks me out.
Oh, they're both assholes.
Yeah.
Whatever.
No, Reddit freaks me out.
You have no idea what you're talking about.
That's the thing.
You haven't read anything. You haven't watched anything. You're just trying to be mean.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We're also there's a big push right now about parasocial relationships. Like, I don't know if you know the singer Chappell Roan. She just blew up this year. She was like an indie artist, I want to say like 6 months ago, and like completely blew up. And she actually came out this week or last week on a podcast talking about that it's not okay to stalk people because they're famous. Like, it's not okay. Like, you don't know me. And like, it was very honestly brave, because people are like, well, you know, I made you. And she's like, no, like, I don't owe you anything, and my family's in danger right now, and people keep trying to touch me and keep trying, you know, and like putting up that kind of boundary to be like, we don't know each other, but people form these parasocial relationships, right? Of where they're like, oh, I know you, I've known everything you've ever made. And I, you know, they attach their hopes and dreams to a person who's human, who they've never met or like haven't worked with, or, you know, it can just be really scary. It can be super scary. I don't know. But I'm sorry it's been so. Are you able to take a vacation soon, Steve? Do you get to rest your brain?
No, but mine isn't so bad. I'm okay.
Yeah.
Jamie was working till 11 o'clock at night. I just checked in occasionally. Yeah. There was a week that was long for me when we thought we were going to have to go into court.
Oh, and God.
I still don't know that we won't have to go into court. Sure. I just know that for right now, it seems like détente. And then if they persist and they push to the limits, then we'll go to court. And then it's all on me. Then I'll be working harder than Jamie did, because
it's going to be protecting the studio, right?
I will protect the studio like Israel protected itself from Hamas. So there were 39,000 dead bodies. There will be 2 dead bodies when I'm done, minimum. And so, not dead, but you know, dead to you're dead to me.
You're dead to me.
So that kind of dead, but dead to a lot of people. If they ever get me to that point, then I'll make it worth their while, because I'm going to spend a lot of money to make sure the studio is protected. But I don't think we'll go there.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll go there. You notice they conveniently kept that part of the out of the quote in all the filings. Like, for months, all the months I've been reporting this, every filing, including all the ones in Texas, by the way, it's, oh, he threatened our lives, he threatened our family. And that was, as far as the threat goes, the least threatening word salad of a threat ever. And he was clearly talking about the studio because he says so. And then he finishes off with, I don't think we're going to go there. I feel like this woman, Blake Lively, and her team of lawyers have just made themselves look like fucking imbeciles. And I don't know how to be any nicer about it than that. Is that it? Is that really? I literally haven't heard a word about Justin Baldoni being verbally abusive. Oh, I'm so annoyed. I've got little lights flashing in front of me. Like, you know, visual things.
I hope not. As someone who
that's not the world I want to live in.
No. I hope it goes away. I just hope it goes away, or that people lose interest or realize it's harming everyone's career.
Yeah, I think that
she's talking shit about Blake herself here.
This is not going to go away. I don't think it's going to go away anytime soon.
Yeah.
We'll have to be defensive for years because there'll be stuff coming at us. I will be defensive for years. So if they ever cross the line, then I will go after them.
Yeah.
And Jamie at one point called me up and said, I think we're going to need you.
Yeah.
And we have lawyers ready to go. We have our press people, our PR people working. We haven't had to engage the lawyers much yet.
That's good. That's a good sign.
Right. I'm just going to quickly, some thoughts, right? There's one thing that if they make me cross the line, if they ever cross the line, that is a conditional, right? Even if it was considered a threat, it's conditional. So the actual threat is neutered, basically, because it's I will do this, but only if you do this or don't do this. So it's not even considered in UK law. Certainly, it is not even considered an actual threat, because you're not being threatened. You're being told, if you do this, then I will do that, and you're getting the choice not to do whatever they're asking, it's telling you not to do. I'm actually astonished. This is even worse than I thought it was going to be. I got Mia whining as well. Even Mia thinks it's terrible. Yes, he does say, yeah. Hi, One True Morty. Yes, he does say, he says defend, not attack. I don't know how she credibly put this into a document, a legal filing, and then said, he threatened me. This is just absolutely wild. But you can see now, right, in real time, and I will finish the recording, you can see in real time exactly what happened now on the set. Do you know, like, with all of the things that have been twisted and misrepresented, right? Because when she came out with her allegations, I was like, oh my God, right? I didn't particularly think they were true. I was struggling with them because, well, for one thing, she suggested that Adam Monshine wasn't an actor, and I knew he was. But you can see now how perfectly innocent conversations or interactions have been twisted, because that's what she's done with Steve Sarowitz's words here on this recording. I have no idea how they thought this was going to help anyone. If anything, it is just an absolutely classic example. And the fact that they're using, right, I'm gonna say this, because when I did my motion to quash, one of the things I did was correct Ezra Hudson on her misrepresentation of the law when they filed that ridiculous letter to the judge to say that Andy Signal from Popcorn Planet had illegally recorded them without consent, without knowledge, blah, blah, blah. And that wasn't true because Andy started the recording by saying, you're being recorded, right? And that is enough. That is enough. You don't need the other person to say, yeah, that's fine. If they continue the call after being told that, that is enough. And it pissed me off, right? When I did my motion to quash, I made a point of saying, oh, by the way, you misquoted the law. Here's the actual position in the law. And after she wrote that letter bitching about being recorded, without consent, and after the 4 emails I had telling me, oh, well, we'll have a meeting confirmed, but by the way, you must not record. I need your consent that you will not record. We do not consent to being recorded. I cannot believe that she has stuck what she knows to be an illegal recording into evidence, put it before a judge, and it's not even what she says it is. I am going to calm down and just let the rest of this go. I'm so sorry. I am so annoyed by this. I am so annoyed by this because, and I have said this before, and I am going to say it again, right? There were 107 content creators who were subpoenaed for no reason whatsoever because she did not follow through with any of them. I think only Andy's is still going, and that's because he's done the documentary, right? She is withdrawn without hardly any fight, none at all in most cases, but without hardly any fight from all of the rest of them, which shows that she didn't have any real there was nothing really that she was seeking to get. She was not genuinely seeking to get information from anyone. She was just trying to shut everyone up. And for a while it worked because it had us all busy responding to it. It had us all stressed out, wondering if commenting on this case was worth this, right? Many of these content creators, myself included, I know Lauren, Cassidy, Ken's, there's Leslie G, and there'll be a whole host of people, actually, I can't name them all, but a bunch of them who have actually experienced domestic abuse. And we are talking about this case from that lens. I know in the case of Andy and Lauren, they have also been falsely accused of domestic abuse. And they are talking, they're speaking to that, their experiences of that. If anyone has been retaliated against for speaking out about domestic abuse, it was us. We were retaliated against. And the same way as she misrepresented all the meeting confers that she claimed she had with us, including myself, which she did not. The way that they misrepresented the fact, suggested that they had information. They didn't need the subpoena anymore because they got what they wanted from us. They did not. They got nothing. And I'm getting really pissed off. And now I'm speaking in my human capacity here, and my raw emotion. I am so pissed off and over this woman. There is absolutely no way that this is a genuine victim and she's pulling stunts like this. No way. In all honesty, with the judge, I don't know. I'm on the fence. He's pulled some of his rulings. Whilst I don't like them, I understand the law around it. I understand why he's got there. I also think, in all honesty, he is not giving Blake Lively any wiggle room for an appeal. That is why he's given her so much. He is desperately trying not to give her anything that she can come back and go, well, that's not fair. Also, he does not know whether she has been sexually harassed or not. He has got to take that seriously. Otherwise, it makes him look terrible. I think he's stuck between a rock and a hard place. Yes, there are some decisions I sit and think, my God, man, what are you thinking? And there are some I think, okay, I don't like it, but it's fair. He could have he could have left this sealed because Blake Lively did not want it unsealed. But here we are. We have it because Judge Lyman said, no, it can be unsealed. But the way Blake Lively and her team are playing this is not genuine. She has not suffered at all. She has not experienced anything terrible. And he has said that on that recording. He does not know he's being recorded. And he has just said as much, that, nothing bad happened. That Blake Lively was trying to take them down. And they did nothing. For the whole, even the no more part with the charity and everything, the collaboration, and the portrayal of domestic abuse, he even says, we tried to keep that as true as possible, but we failed. I don't think Wayfarer failed. But I'm sure as hell annoyed because Blake Lively engineered it to be a film about her. No, this is absolutely not bad for Wayfarer at all. There was nothing in this so far, unless the end shows me something else. That statement, though, about the Hamas and Israel thing, I can understand why some people might be a bit sensitive about it. I do get that. But I understand what he's saying. And he never intended it to go out the room. He wasn't trying to offend anyone. He was just showing his raw emotion, as I have just done. He was just kind of, that is the level of where he's at. And I know he follows the Baha'i faith, but I believe it's my understanding that, like Justin Baldoni, I may be wrong, but I thought Steve Sarowitz was actually, initially, he was Jewish before he converted to Baha'i. Yeah, so I understand that some people might not love the language or the tone. I don't think it was that bad. I don't. And it certainly wasn't coming across as in an aggressive tone. It wasn't threatening. He wasn't shouting it. There was no threat. So I'm not worried about it at all personally. But I'm also not Jewish. I'm not I'm not from Palestine. So I don't know, some people from those countries may be offended. I don't see why, though, because it was never intended for them to hear it. And it's just, it's his stance on the whole Israel-Gaza conflict anyway, and he has a right to that opinion. My goodness. Steve threatened her. No, he didn't. Don't be so stupid. Right. He's gone. There's always one, isn't there? Who just hears shit that is not even there. It's like they have to create drama in their head. No, he didn't never threatened her. I 100%. There was no threat I've heard so far. I'm 100% there. I'll concede maybe insensitive for some people hearing, the context of Israel Hamas. It shouldn't be though. It's a real world problem. It's happening. So yeah, I think she has goaded. She didn't seem intimidated, so I don't know the logic behind needing to record, and that's not enough anyway for two-party consent. That is not a justifiable excuse to say that you're intimidated, because even if there was some truth, even if she'd been verbally abused by Justin Baldoni, and again, I've heard not a single word about that. Steve Sarowitz, she has not mentioned that he's ever been abusive to her. She certainly seems friendly enough. She's quite happy to take his money as well. So, and she's even pitching ideas about working with him in future or putting him in touch with other people to work with. So no, I call bullshit on I was intimidated, so I needed to record for my safety. She wasn't even in the room with him. It was a Zoom call. What's threatening about that? Worst case scenario is if someone starts getting aggressive or intimidating, you just end the call. It's not like you're stuck in a room like Jen Abel and you can't leave because there are security guards at the door preventing you from leaving. Yeah, she absolutely dominated and directed the entire conversation. So yeah, exactly. It's just he's been a bit hyperbolic, yes, because he's emotional, and he does say he's a bit emotional, As far as he's concerned, everything he's worked for is under threat. I would be emotional because to set up a film studio and keep it functioning, the costs of that are not small. And whilst he may be a billionaire, he's a billionaire because, you handle your money well. You don't just, throw it on a fire. And if Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are threatening your studios, then, after you put in all that hard work and you build up a reputation, especially for these guys, because they're Baha'i, but also the main focus of the films that they produce are good causes to put to raise awareness on difficult, sensitive topics. That's their they're known for that. So false allegations of sexual harassment are especially damaging for a company like Wayfarer. I will continue the recording. I'll get off my. Oh, thank you, everyone. I'm sorry about that. It's just I'm so annoyed.
That's a good sign because that gets ugly.
Nothing's really hit our studio. It's never. Basically, people love Justin, and they still love Justin.
Yeah, that's good.
So she agrees that
and if you meet Justin, how could you not love Justin?
I know, but yeah, I'm just glad that I'm just sending all the good energy. I hope it stays safe. I hope it stays safe. It's tough.
You know what? Just you were lucky you had a production like that. Almost all of our production is almost all of our.
I'm just really going to quickly respond because this is a fair comment. I know people, they went to town on Isabella Ferrer. I really don't suggest anyone go and harass this woman. It's not necessary. Write your posts and say you're disappointed, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, don't send her messages or, send her horrible comments. It's she's an awful person from the sound of it. I'm fully in agreement, but it's not right to go to someone directly and start piling on them, regardless of what they said or done. Just wanted to add that.
Productions are like that.
I'm glad. Ooh, I also heard, wait, just total tangent, ADHD. I heard the Hurricanes got their trailer premiered on NBC this morning.
Really?
Yeah, they got their premiere on NBC, which is they talked about it in our meeting on Tuesday. I'm so excited to see this doc. I'm so excited. It's like right up my alley. I'm so psyched.
That is, the Hurricanes is very good. Yeah, we've been involved with some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
And I think we can play it. And we've got other films by other people we're playing.
Yeah.
We're playing a film about disabled people called Daruma.
Ooh.
We have a film that's coming out. We have Sugarcane, which is playing now.
True.
And then we have, hang on. I'm trying to think of the name of the next film. Bull Street.
Cool. I was gonna ask, have you always wanted to open a movie theater, or is it something that's been percolating in your brain, or was it just because I love a dear friend of mine, I thought of you, a dear friend of mine who's she's a product manager and she's a phenomenal filmmaker as well on the side, but she's trying to switch careers and wants to open up a movie theater. So I'm loving talking to people who run them to ask what made you get into it, and also any advice you have for them I can pass along.
What is her job right now?
Product manager at Warby Parker. She's a genius. She keeps everything moving, and she's based in New York. She really wants to move to Barcelona. She lived in, I think, France for years, right out of college or right after high school. And we met in a theater festival we were both in. And she is just one of those people who's brilliant, but also supports the hell out of other creators. And I just love being her friend. But she loves movies. Basically, movies are how she gets through tough times at work. She'll double up on her movie going during the week and wants to share that with people.
Here's what I would say. People aren't going to movies. It's been a challenge for me. I've lost a lot of money. Having said that, it's also, I don't think movie theaters are completely going away.
No, not at all.
I think the renaissance will come, but you have to have an angle at it.
Yeah, right?
Does she have the money to withstand some bad times?
No, not yet. Not yet. Not yet.
Well, I wouldn't do it unless she had a little extra money.
I know. I think for her, it's a dream in the future, but also she wants to learn how to run one. But that's important to know. Same thing that's what I love. I'm very close to my lawyer for this reason, where I like talking through stuff with her to be okay, what is the real meat and potatoes? Same thing with my accountant, right? Or I'm hey, how do I actually do this? What's the paperwork? How much will it cost me to keep accounting going for this one project, right? And stuff like that, of knowing the nitty gritty. But I feel is there any way I can support y'all for Wayfarer Theaters?
Just give us a shout out, give us a video. A video would be great. Saying, hey, so work with Clay on that. A video would be great.
And we're gonna be there. So for us, especially,
she wants to support them. They're verbally abusive. She's back in Blake's corner, but she's asking, how can I support you guys? I smell a rat. A Claire-shaped rat.
Actually creating that kind of a fun experience with the catwalk, and just Steve, thank you. We're so freaking excited to do the screening there. And to have us be together for that is so exciting.
And you're gonna love
I
the
can't
theater
wait.
itself.
I can't wait. I love a theater. Theaters make me feel, this is why my friend and I are friends. Theaters make us feel very safe and we're about to explore a different universe. It's always the best.
Our theater is not a typical theater.
I love it.
You heard much about it?
Wait, no, I know that the point of it is wait, do you mean the actual space? Oh wait, walk me through. No, I know about what you're offering, but I don't know about the space.
You walk in and there's a hologram of Justin and Jamie and Tara and me saying welcome to Wayfair, and
oh my god, I'm obsessed.
And then there's you walk upstairs, actually when you walk in, right, it says Flowers of One Garden Community, so it's community board.
Love
and
it.
You walk upstairs and it says Oneness. Then there's a 9-pointed Baha'i star on the ceiling.
Whoa.
The lobby's all been redone. There's a big screen in the back showing the movies we make, and there's a cafe, and then as you walk down the hallway, there's kind of cool carpeting and ceiling. And there's also a Lily Bloom's flower shop right now.
I love that. I know, I saw that from the screen, from social. I did. I thought it looked very cool.
A sign that says, where there is love, nothing is too much trouble, and there's always time.
Love it.
at the end of the hall. So basically what I'm saying is that it's a Baha'i inspired, open Baha'i inspired movie theater, but
which is beautiful.
Everyone knows like we will not play violent movies, we will not play horror movies. We'll only play and so we've got just this ton of women empowered movies over the next few months.
Very cool. Well, I have a question. How far is it DePaul? How far is DePaul from you?
About less than an hour, depending on traffic.
So I have a friend of mine who I met through the Blacklist, who is
this woman has a lot of friends.
He works with them for their feature lab, so he was my mentor for that. But he teaches at DePaul, so it could be a potential lab for them to show like their film, to like do that kind of collaboration, or even like to turn it into like a film marathon for them to like learn from, or things like that for an hour. But I could connect y'all, connect him with Clay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh no, I love the community stuff, so that's why I asked, how can I help?
And I'm extremely connected.
Oh, I know you are. Yeah.
So.
But especially, I think that's been the.
She knows he's extremely collected. How cute. I really want to quickly say, Dollar Creative Tennis. Thank you so much. This is a great point. Only about 6 minutes left on the recording, and I will watch it. But when I all the deep, all the women who see almost colluding, and I that's my opinion. I'm not saying that's a fact, but Alex Sachs, Colleen Hoover, you had that Ange Giannetti, now this cow. I cannot believe how many women are coming together here. But the one woman who wants nothing to do with this seems to be Taylor Swift. Absolutely, a lot. It's the domestic violence, maybe raise awareness on domestic violence while at the same time as right resources. Shameful. It's absolutely shameful. I believe it. Thank you so much for your comment. You're absolutely spot on. That's a great point. Yeah.
Like unreal, or even like going to film festivals and stuff and meeting other filmmakers is just always really fun and affirming. And I know, let me ask around. I'll ask around, especially in the Highland Park area, who I know doing stuff. Because especially like for young kids of color to see stuff that they've shot on their freaking iPhone, like up on a big screen, like it's so cool. It's so cool.
We've done that.
Yeah, I love it.
More of that.
I love it. Honestly, like that side, and it's clear where your heart is too. But it's tough with the business side of wanting to make sure we know everything.
Recording.
Of course, it's in the black because that's our job.
I have a friend who might want to do that for me. I got to talk to.
Yeah.
Like start doing filmmaking classes. For
honestly,
kids.
Like when I tell you, like I teach, and I always offer financial aid because a lot of folks just to like clear that barrier. But what is so fun about it is it's them starting to build their own community too. So it's like having a teacher, but for them to be able to text each other, to support each other, and like start building that community early instead of feeling isolated. Like my filmmaker community had my back so hard during this. Like half of them were part of my director's cut early screening when I was like getting notes and things like that. And we support the hell out of each other. And like forming that early as a young creator, I mean, no brainer. And making, especially since you have a cafe, making it a place to hang out and like bring your ideas. Something I had for an idea down the road was having like a little board of like looking for creatives, like looking for a cinematographer, looking for a, like kind of a thing where you can hang out. So like even turning your cafe into that kind of a supportive space for filmmakers could be fun.
We've got a lot of work in front of us right now.
I know.
Anyway, I better run so I can have my break today.
Go have your break, and it was great talking to you. And I'm just sending all the love. I do hope it calms down. I will say that.
It's going to calm down. It's already calmed down.
Good. I'm glad. All right, my friend. It was great to see you. Thanks for hanging out.
Just wait. We'll see each other in person in 1 month.
I'm so psyched. And I'll send you all the good stuff.
Well, I'm really looking forward to getting it out there, and I'm glad that I couldn't believe we weren't going to do anything.
I know. I was a little bummed too. I know that, but also it's such a huge ensemble and it's such a small budget film, and Blue Fox is putting up a lot of cash to do a lot of this stuff, which I'm so grateful for. So for us, what I'm going to try to do between you and me, if we do a New York screening with Blue Fox, I'm going to see who they're flying out, and then I might fly out 2 other people from our core cast, so they can all just reunite together, and we could just celebrate and go do karaoke or something just to celebrate. Yeah, it's why we do it, right? Community's everything. But when I tell you how excited people are around the world, it's unreal.
That's wonderful. It just be a sleeper hit thing.
Honestly, really cool. That's what everyone's saying. It's very cool. I'm not kidding.
It would be great if we have another hit for Wayfair, and we're going to.
No, right? And that's the thing. And this is a female-led project, right? Of really all female department heads, everyone working on this project. I'm really centering our casting team that did the nationwide casting call, because the casting agencies didn't have people. They didn't have them. So we're hoping with especially. Blacklist is going to be really amplifying the development process and what we did. So adding that to industry recognition is going to be huge. So I'm very excited. So
I love this women's empowerment. We have another. I think I told you another first-time director we supported.
Yes, a woman named Scarlett Johansson. Yeah. I'm so excited for her. We're
trying to get her first big break. Maybe people will hear of her.
But Scarlett Jo, who? I can't. I love it. No, but honestly, every time you're a first-time feature director, it's your first time being a feature director. It's tough. I love that.
She was so cool, calm, collected, and confident.
No,
and nice.
Which is what you want, and just professional, right? You want someone who's professional, who
I don't. It's so interesting because you work with so many people, and almost everybody's nice. And then there's Blake, who's she's totally different than everyone else.
I'm sorry.
It's not to say anything bad about her, but
no.
She's different.
There you go.
And I don't. I think for the most part, most people see what we're doing, see we're nice, and they're nice back. Yeah. Even if they weren't perfectly nice. And I just think some people forgot to learn how to be nice.
The industry. I left it for a while, Steve. I left it for a while. There was a reason I was originally going to make this movie in my hometown. It's a tough, icky place. It can be a very icky place.
I think that there's a lot of good people out there. And so what we're doing is we're figuring out who we want to work with, who we don't want to work with. And then we'll just work with them, and then it's done. And anyway, have a wonderful day. I'll see you.
You too. I hope you enjoy your break. It was good to see you.
Tell all your friends.
I will. I'm going to send the invite out. Absolutely. And I just have them RSVP to Clay, right? I think.
Yes,
Perfect.
Exactly.
Perfect. Awesome.
RSVP to Clay and or Elise.
Awesome.
She can help as well. Anyway, you can talk to Elise and Clay and ask who they want.
Perfect. I will.
I actually think that it's probably better having it go through Elise and her team, but ask them who they want it to go through.
I'll ask. Awesome. Thank you, Steve. I hope you have a good rest of your week.
You too.
Bye.
I'll see you.
Wow. Yeah, nothing about Justin. But cherry on the cake, though. I bet that's what tipped Blake over. There's nothing like being compared to your husband's ex-wife, and you're not the one who looks good. Yeah, that was a massive nothing but it was worth it for the ScarJo comment at the end. Some people are really nice. She was an angel. She was lovely, but some people never learned how to be nice. Blake. Oh my God. It could be, possibly. So, yes, I went on. So, I responded to the super chat earlier about the female kind of backstabbers involved in all this. There are a lot. There is Alex Sachs, there is Colleen Hoover, there is Liz Plank, there is Isabella Ferrer, there is Ange Giannetti. There are, oh my God, there's going to be a lot more as well. Jenny Slate. Oh my God, how could I forget Jenny Slate? There are a bunch of people, and given this was a film to raise awareness on domestic abuse, which is a predominantly female felt problem, I cannot believe how all these women got together and turned on a company and stabbed them in the back. And if this woman's film is bombed and she's been promised some kind of incentive, in the same way I believe that Brandon Sklenar was, and probably Colleen Hoover and a bunch of others, then I can see why she is coming out now. But this recording just makes her look like a complete and total twat. There was nothing in it. There was absolutely nothing. There was no threat. There was no reference to Justin Baldoni being verbally abusive, so I call bullshit on that now. I was open-minded. If someone else said, "Oh, like actually he's awful to work with," I'm open-minded to that. But I'm just not hearing it at all. Even the lawsuits that have gone against him have turned out to be nothing. They've been voluntarily dismissed by the people who originally bought them because it turned out he did nothing wrong. And I've spent 10 months now of speaking about this case just to constantly say, yeah, no, that's not actually what happened here. Here's the evidence. Here's the receipts. This is what happened. You're being told that, by a pro-lively who's misrepresenting what actually happened. Yeah, I hope so. It's oh my god, like there's no other word for her. She sounds like a complete and utter idiot in this. This is nothing. I heard no fear in her voice. There was no need to record because it was a Zoom call. She was not threatened. She wasn't threatened. He didn't raise his voice. And this is why in these kind of cases, when you've got audio or video clips, it's important to have the entire clip entered into evidence. Because, yes, there is a need to authenticate metadata, etc., and make sure it's not been tampered with. That is not going to be relevant at this point. Just before anyone says, oh, has it been tampered with? Do we know what meta? We don't know. Wayfarer will be checking all of that out themselves. The starting point is it's illegal. I'm 100% happy to stick my neck out there and say I believe this is an illegal recording. I believe that Steve Sarowitz was in Chicago, and as that is a two-party state consent, it does not matter whether she's in a two-party or a one-party, because if there's a two-party state involved, the two-party consent state takes priority over any other state. And I think he was in Illinois. And if he wasn't in Illinois, he would have been more than likely working at Wayfarer, which is in California, which is also two-party consent. So I believe I'm happy to assume safely that this is illegal. And just the fact that she's put it in, never mind whether it's been tampered with, the fact that she's even put it in is just wild. I can't believe she's done it. I've got a super chat from Jane. Thank you, Jane. How can she do this to his face, lying the whole time? Wayfarer will be done with it. Absolutely, they will. Yeah, I wouldn't want to work. Why would you work with someone that you can't trust? Again, I think it's absolutely disgraceful that she did this. And there's nothing in it either. He said he will protect his studio, like, Israel protected themselves from Hamas. What threat is that? And the thing is, right, is it really annoyed me the way it was framed in Blake Lively's complaints, like it was a personal attack. Steve Sarowitz said there would be 2 dead bodies. These are really serious words, and you've got to remember, right, Steve Sarowitz, someone attempted to burn down his home. They tried to extort $80,000 from him. They quoted this quote. they're spending $100 million to destroy Blake Lively and her family. They used that quote when they tried to kidnap his daughter. So much was whipped up out of that comment, and now I've heard it from the man himself in the context with the person he was speaking to. I actually cannot believe that they stooped so low. I can't. I'm so angry. Josh, Creative Tennis, thank you again. This experience is going to be character building for Justin and Wayfarer. In future, they will know how to better protect themselves. Yes, I hope so. I don't want to say, it's a shame to have to say, I hope they're a bit more guarded and not quite as trusting, but I know all too well, right? You can trust people, you see the best in people, and then you can get royally screwed over by people who pretended to be your friends, who used you. That is all too common. And, it hurts, but you learn. And I do hope they have learned something from this. And I say that really kindly because I know they have the best of intentions and they want to be good people. And that's absolutely fine. Bring it on. The world needs more of it. But they've also got to remember that not everyone is as equally kind. People are out for themselves. People are nasty. People will shit on you from a great height without so much as blinking. So I really hope that they do learn something from it so that they are protected in future. Is it perjury? Technically no, because what she quoted was accurate. He did say it and it's on the recording. So she can frame it how she wants to. She can because it's her interpretation. It is ridiculous to all of us, but she's entitled to say, I felt threatened. It'll be up to the jury then to sort of sit there and assess whether that entitlement is right or not. I think the overwhelming majority, apart from Lee, who got booted out earlier, believe that it's a complete overreaction by Blake Lively. It's been whipped up into something it's really not. But he did say the words. So technically it is not perjury. I don't know. I'm interested. I think Ashley will be the one that'll be all over what's going to happen with the PR. So I always recommend people check out her channel. But yeah, I can't wait to see how they spin this. I'm hoping, because when I looked into it, there was a news article which actually did represent the context. Like there was a news article which said he was asked about it, and Brian Friedman gave the statement saying, well, yeah, he's seeking to protect his studio. And I think in one of Jed Wallace's responses to Blake Lively's motion to dismiss in the Texas case they've got going on, Blake Lively had quoted this quote about spending $100 million to protect this, to $100 million to destroy her lives and all this stuff. And Jed Wallace's lawyer, who I adore, actually responded with, well, in reality, what that really meant was it was $100 million to protect the studio. So it has been batted back a few times. Oh, thank you. I do my best. Yeah, I feel like I didn't get the sense it was edited, so things seem to flow okay. I couldn't pick up on, that doesn't mean that it hasn't been, but I just couldn't pick up on something where I felt like it jumped from one thing to another. But yes, so to go back to, because I'd mentioned this, so technically, for her to have given it to Blake Lively, that is also an illegal act. For Blake Lively to have put it into a court file, you cannot use it for anything, right? If it's a legal recording, you cannot use it, even in court filings, and you are not protected by anything for doing that. So technically the act of Blake Lively including it in the filing is also committing an illegal act. I think that's why, because Ezra Hudson didn't say anything about it, because there was 2 declarations, weren't there, that came with this recording. One was from Ezra Hudson, one was from Claire as well, Claire kind of says, oh, the recording is a true recording, blah, blah, blah. Ezra Hudson does not mention the recording at all in her declaration. She does not refer to it. She refers to various things that, but she does not refer to the actual recording. Now, I don't know if Ezra Hudson was aware that the recording is likely to have been illegally recorded or that it was recorded without consent. She may not know. I am not inclined to give her the benefit of the doubt because I know firsthand what a liar she is. However, it is perfectly plausible that Blake Lively gave Ezra Hudson the recording, and I mean Ezra Hudson should have asked, where did you get it? And given that she lives in California and is so concerned about two-party consent herself, you would have thought she would have asked the question, and it is her responsibility to ask. However, it is Blake Lively who would have technically have committed an offence by including an illegal recording if she was aware that it was a legal recording. So the fact that Wayfarer agreed for it to be unsealed means nothing because, Steve Sarowitz was the party that was being recorded without his consent. So he can say, unseal it. That doesn't mean that suddenly it's okay, that there's no illegality in recording and distributing the recording, because that was already done. And the quote was being used over and over again in news articles, in court filings, before the audio was, handed over in discovery. So, there's all that. I'm just looking for more questions. Yeah, I could see you doing that too. It could have been. Now I heard something about an Elise as well. So yeah, that's interesting. No, I don't think he was in Israel. I think he was in I think he did mention Chicago. Because he also asked Claire what she wanted to do when she comes to Chicago. So that sounds like he was in Chicago. What do you want to do when you come over here? Like if he wasn't in Chicago, I would have thought the question would have been framed, what do you want to do when you go to Chicago? So I don't know. I don't know 100%, but I'm guessing. I feel that he was in Chicago, which is pretty. I think he lives there, or he lives in Illinois anyway, somewhere. I think it's definitely exposing some of the crazy crap that goes on behind the scenes in Hollywood. The shit that they don't want us to know about. Oh, Annie, thank you so much. Honestly, if I'd known about that quote, I would have included it in my own motion to quash. I would have. I took enough of a swipe at her anyway. Said that she was known for being Ryan Reynolds' wife, not for any of her own accomplishments. And I actually hadn't heard of her for all of this. You know, I'd heard of Justin Baldoni. I had not heard of, other than Ryan Reynolds' wife, I had not heard of Blake Lively. I'd never watched anything with her in it. And I wish that was still the position today. I mean, this is going to be picked up by mainstream media. There's no two ifs and buts about it. Mainstream media is going to be listening in, and they will have heard this recording. They will have heard us talking about it. They may have gone and got their own copies. Good. I'm interested to see what mainstream media, you know, frame it as. But we've all now heard it in full. So mainstream media cannot put their usual bullshit on it. I'm sure they'll try. But, you know, when something goes into mainstream media that Blake Lively does not want us to see, she normally goes to a bathroom with a burrito, starts posting a load of crap to her Instagram. However, there's nothing in that. Hi, Emma. Oh, hi to everyone that's come, by the way. There is nothing in that recording that's going to help her get her treble damages and costs. Just as an FYI, there's absolutely nothing in that recording that is going to help her with the motion that it was attached to, the Section 47 remedies. There's nothing there. And even if this woman had been, you know, spent half the recording saying, oh my God, Justin was such a nightmare to work on my project, it doesn't matter. It wasn't on the Ends With Us set. She had nothing to do with it. It's totally unrelated. And my opinion, when someone loosely says, oh, they were verbally abusive to me, and then doesn't proceed to give some kind of examples, my view of that is, well, that's a very subjective description. That could be anything from you don't like their tone to they're screaming at you. You know, and she sounds like someone who is very sensitive. She's one of those people that's, you know, being about, you know, it's all about positivity and, you know, and what was it, parasocial relationships and all this woke stuff, you know, which I don't have an issue with, but I know I certainly people who kind of follow that kind of ideology tend to be far more sensitive. You know, they scream and shout, but they want you cancelled because you looked at them the wrong way. Yeah, it's in evidence. It's been included in evidence. So they will have shared that in discovery because the Bates number had BL, which is Blake Lively's Bates number. So she has been given that. She has not had to subpoena Claire for this. She has been handed it by Claire because it's got BL on the Bates number. Blake Lively will have exchanged that and with the other parties. So it's there. It's been entered as part of a motion. It's now been unsealed. So yes, it doesn't have to be authenticated. Blake Lively technically could put in whatever she wants as evidence. It's her evidence. But, you know, like I say, with audio and video, they like to have the full thing. And the full thing was actually submitted because Judge Lyman referred to some stuff in the recording in his order to unseal it. She just pointed him in, you know, to specific timestamps of what she wanted him to listen to. Well, the judge isn't going to do that. He's more than likely going to listen to the whole thing. Which is just wild because when she included an entire transcript of a deposition, it's like 400 pages of something off the Vin Diesel docket that Brian Friedman was involved with. It wasn't even related to her lawsuit. And she's like, didn't even say to Judge Lyman, oh, just this page is relevant, or, you know, this paragraph of this page. She put the whole thing in, all 400 pages of it. So she puts in timestamps and specific page numbers when it suits her. But when she's trying to make Brian Friedman look bad, she doesn't take the time to do that. I haven't been on Reddit. I will go and say thank you to Clark, though. That was just absolutely amazing. So I appreciated that. Yeah, no, she did jump from one topic to another. I agree with you there. Yes, and she was trying to get favors for friends. I completely agree with you. Completely agree with you there. She was all over the place. There was no structure to it, and I do think it was planned. No, actually, putting the recording in the docket is not protected by litigation privilege because it was obtained illegally in the first place. So there is an illegality there. I think not actually Golden has said the same thing. I'm not sure. I think they're just non-combative, which it irritates me a little bit because it's a fight I would want to take up in her position. Like if I was in their position, I'd be like, oh, right, that's it. You're going down. But they don't strike me as the kind of people to want to get into to be seen as being combative. And that's not a bad thing, I think, at this moment in time. They have deliberately said absolutely nothing. They've made no real statements, other than when Justin Baldoni's been accosted at the odd airport, and he's just made a very simple one-line statement. They have said nothing. They've not talked, and that's good. That's a good thing. They would have been told not to. They would have been advised not to. I'm not 100% sure. I think Elise might be Steve Sarowitz's assistant, but I'm not sure. Yes, DePaul. I heard that too, but I was open to the possibility of Dubai if someone with better hearing than me heard it. No, I think it's a different Elise. I'm pretty sure there's some staff there who at Wayfarer or for Steve Sarowitz, I think that he's got an assistant called Elise. I don't think it's the one who was. It wasn't Elise Dorsey. But yeah, as in my opinion, I think this makes her look awful. I think it makes Blake Lively look awful. Yes, I didn't hear him say 100 million in this. I think he said that at the premiere. I think that was like a separate statement to someone else, and she's just conflating the two. But I think he was still talking in the context of, I will do whatever I have to, spend whatever I have to protect my studio, and that's fair enough as his livelihood. Well, that's a good point, girly. Could be. I don't know what point in August this was. I don't know if it was it before the premiere or after? I think it was after. No, it has to have been after because it was in the top 10 for the highest grossing film, so it had to have been premiered already. Didn't she do her grab your florals crap like before the premiere? So I don't know. As a British person, do not get me started on what she said about Kate Middleton. She will never be forgiven. Yeah, that was absolutely wild. Like, what the hell? Someone offers to pay for an apartment for you so it's safer for your child, and then you're offended by that. But that's what I mean. Like, these people who are coming together and doing all this are the kind of people who seem to be offended by everything. Like, they're so fragile, it's impossible to say anything without them taking it the wrong way or twisting it the wrong way. So, yeah, it's just... It's wild. It's wild. It doesn't change my opinion whatsoever of Justin Baldoni. There was nothing there. It certainly doesn't sway my opinion of Steve Sarowitz either. I think the context was used completely out of context. It was hammered as well. Like, in everything she said, every filing, even just the letters to the judge to say, can we have an extension? By the way, judge, don't forget, Steve Sarowitz is a billionaire and he once threatened to spend $100 million to ruin the lives of Blake Lively and her husband. Every filing, it got exhausting to read that statement. And now, like, although that wasn't the $100 million specifically, I'm really at peace with the idea that whatever he said, or whatever context he said the $100 million statement to the person at the premiere, was going to be just as innocent and laid back. Because honestly, the guy clearly, to me, he doesn't sound like he even knows how to threaten someone. I'll put a link to the recording in the description. I'll put a link to the recording in the description as so people can listen to it themselves, and transcript is there as well. Exactly, HH. Exactly. Even if they are offended by the language, the use of, the references to Hamas and Israel, and I don't see any reason why they should be. It has sweet FA to do with the lawsuit, which is exactly my point. There is nothing in this recording that is going to help the motion that it was attached to, which is the Section 47 remedies. Nothing in it at all. It's just mental. Yeah, that's very true. Thank you, But yeah, you're right. Alleged statement. We cannot trust anything Blake Lively says, and context is important. Very true. Very true. Okay, so did you miss the Kate Middleton part? Oh my God, she mocked Kate Middleton to promote her Bay Buzz. It was like a "Where's Kate" kind of post. It was while Kate was off. She had just had major abdominal surgery and was taking time off away from royal duties. But she was also diagnosed and treated for cancer. And the backlash from it wasn't just Blake Lively. Blake Lively was a total arse. So she was like one of the worst offenders. But a lot of people were like, well, where's Kate? Oh, they've hidden her. She's gone missing, etc. And it was just a load of like, it got ridiculous basically, and a lot of people were taking the piss, and it forced Kate Middleton to come out and make a statement and tell the world that she had cancer. It was gross. It was absolutely terrible the way she was treated by a lot of people, not just Blake Lively, but Blake Lively was a dickhead. Okay. My guess is she doesn't, and this is a PR. This is the thing, right? Everything seems to be done for PR. even the content creator subpoenas, right? We all got subpoenas, 107 of us. We then obviously created content out of it. It was picked up by the media eventually, but we had to begin a fight. But then they withdrew the subpoenas and like, oh, don't worry, we've got what we need, blah, blah, blah. And then we got a barrage of abuse from Pro Lively. We had media saying, oh, look, the content creators were collaborating in the smear campaign. Blake Lively's lawyer got what she wanted, what she needed from them. And they've now withdrawn a subpoena. So all of this has been a complete and utter PR game. From Blake Lively's side, I'm happy to say that as well. I will die on that hill. It was total PR. It was wild that she called Brian Friedman's subpoena to Taylor Swift and Taylor Swift's lawyer abusive, but was quite happy to subpoena 107 of us for nothing. So at least, Taylor Swift was actually there. There might have been something to get. I'm in the UK. What the hell have I got? Anyway, so I'm going to leave it there because I've been going for a while. I hope that answers everyone's questions. So if I didn't answer any question, if I didn't answer your question, it's because I didn't see it and I'm sorry. Or if you do have a question, please put it in the comments and I will, I always reply. And please help me out by liking and subscribing. Thank you. Thank you for joining, and I will see you all soon. I have got a live. I will be doing a live on Halloween because I'll be covering the Jen Abel Second Amended, but it's metadata day. And as the person who found the October 31st metadata, I was going to do something. I don't know what I'm going to do. I was just going to do a little stream, maybe a question and answers or something like that, just to have a chat with, the community and everyone. So, yeah, I'll probably put out I'll have a think about how it's going to look. If anyone's got any suggestions, though, or what I could do, I'm really open to that. I'd love to involve people. So please do send some suggestions in the comments. That'd be really great. Anyway, I'll leave it here for now. Thank you ever so much for coming and listening. Take care, and I will speak to you all soon.